Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, we're going to take a look at Spotify today. Ticker symbol SPOT was requested by somebody in the comments in a previous video. If you have a ticker that you would like me to cover, please drop the ticker symbol in the comments below. Just the ticker symbol, not the company name. And if I see it, I'll respond to you and say that I've added it to the list. If I haven't responded to you in a few days, feel free to drop another comment, just exactly the same, just to refresh it to the top of the queue, because I may have missed it in the mix. All right, so Spotify, as we see, drawing down here quite a bit the last few months. So peaking out on February 22nd, this is the daily chart, by the way, at 387. And then the last, what would this be, about 7 months or so, we're down here in the 240s. So dropping about $147 a share. So pretty significant for sure, bottoming out here at 201.68. What I like to do if I see like recent bottoms on the near in chart, I like to stick a horizontal line there and sort of see if that lines up with anything previously, just to see how strong that support might be. Now in this case, this looks like it should be pretty strong support to me. I mean, hopefully it doesn't need to go all the way back down there again, but you see this previous resistance that flipped to supports, and then what happened next? It had several times tested this range here after that run up. So that would be a next level up that I would look at. And you even see here, this flipped from resistance to support and allowed it to sort of get into this next range. And then after it left this zone, it caught support a couple of times right around here. It's a little bit less clean of an area. Let me see here. Yeah, that's probably decent though. It's just a little more spotty, but that's okay. But that's much closer to where we are at this point. So then I like to come over and take a look at, what we're seeing currently. So I would look at this 228.25 to be the first level down of pretty strong supports, just because it ties back historically to previous support and resistance. Now there might be more closer in support and resistance from more near-term price action. On this one, for example, this is likely one of those. So we can toss this in there as well, because we see the support and resistance that this area brought. So you see all this support flipped from resistance to support. It was trying to hold support before that, and then here it flipped from support to resistance, and then it got shoved down further. So these are the four main areas that I'd be looking at. One very near in here, that's line that I just put in, 237.84. So if it does dip down there, I would look for it to at least put up a strong fight to not flip that to resistance. And if it happens to do that, then we might be seeing something like 228 if it needs to catch support further down. Now, Spotify at this point is in an overall bearish trend. It just crossed below this 200 MA in April and then bumped its head off of it at the end of June and just hasn't been able to get back up there since then. So you see it making a series of lower lows, but this could be starting to try to reverse trend. I mean, we did see that sort of happen here as well. Now, the good potential aspect that we might be seeing of just overall bearish momentum dying down, you see this bearish area of the histogram is much deeper than this area, and that's deeper than this area. So overall, bearish momentum looks to be dying down. Bullish momentum then generally, granted this was a bit higher than this area, but now we're kind of picking up again. And the MACD line itself from back here, even though the price is dropping, this yellow MACD line consistently making a bunch of higher lows. So that is drawing up pretty consistently as well. That said, at the moment, it's looking like it wants to throw a bearish crossover, and it doesn't have a lot of fake outs for bearish crossovers, at least not in the recent past. Like when it looks like it's going to cross over, it does. That doesn't mean that it couldn't head fake at some point. Now, the other thing that I notice is on the RSI here, every time that it comes into oversold territory, it then rides into overbought territory, or very, very close on both of those ends. So you see oversold, could just ride it to overboughts. This one obviously would have faked you out a little bit. Oversold, you would have caught this up to just about 60, I guess, at the peak there. But this one back here, very, very close to oversold, road to overbought, very close to oversold, road to overbought. So pretty consistent pattern there. Oversold, road to overbought. That's could, come into play as well as we kind of work our way through. Now it's coming down at the moment. So we see a drawdown on the RSI. We see the MACD looking like it wants a bearish crossover, and we see buy volume certainly diminishing. Now the only big bullish, I guess one supportive factor and one bullish factor. This purple 20 MA just had a bullish cross over the 50. So could that throw something into the mix? Potentially. What that could do more of is just sort of line up with this 230. I can't see exactly where it is because the price is too close, but this blue line, wherever it is exactly, let me see if it shakes out. Nope. Wherever it is exactly, the purple 20 MA is going to line up pretty closely when the price action gets there, if it does get there, and that could provide a bunch of extra support, and maybe we'll lift it off of this and prevent a bearish crossover. I don't know, but it's something to keep an eye on. If it can't hold this first support level, then I would just look toward 228 or near 228, or maybe even this 50 MA might provide an additional level of support and carry it up from there. Historically, on trend reversal, which we see, well, all the way back here, really, this was a reversal here, all the MAs coiled up quite tightly, and then we just had crossover, but it was crossover of the 20 over the 200 that really brought the lift. And then C50 caught support there, so you do have some examples. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag on whether or not that 50 could catch it. You see it's happened there a couple of times, but it's really respected some of these supply and demand zones quite strongly. So I would maybe be looking for that as more of the factor. And this first one being pretty close in, whatever it is exactly, right around 238-ish area. So that's what I see on the charts. Now on the data side of things, if we just want to give a quick look, for being such a high-priced company, it does have quite a bit of return potential per analyst consensus. That's really pretty solid. Almost 20% return potential. Target price of 288.71. Still a long ways off from that peak high that we saw on the charts in February. But if we look here on the short data, just since we're here, very, very minimal. Very small utilization, very small percentage of the free float being shorted. So nothing that I'd really be concerned about there, with shorts coming and just sort of adding to the selling pressure that Spotify has seen over the last several months, which is definitely a good thing in my opinion. You don't need that added undue pressure and stress. So for me, what I would be keeping an eye on are this first support level, the next support level if it needs it. Is this going to bearish crossover? And is the RSI going to come down into oversold territory, which historically speaking at least has proven to be a good buying opportunity to then ride it up to overbought territory if you want to swing it like that, or if you're just looking for dip entry points for a longer term investing position, of course. But that's what I would look at. And then I don't exactly know how the MAs are going to play a factor at this point. Obviously, we've seen that add resistance here pretty recently, but it hasn't been able to catch really strong motions off of the MAs anytime in the recent history. I do think that it's more supporting these blue supply and demand zones. All right, folks, well, good luck if you're in Spotify. I certainly wish you the best, and I hope that your trading goes well no matter what you're trading. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.